Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. So we'll start in a seated position. So go ahead and bring yourself into a comfortable seat, which for some of us may look like a cross-legged seat. Could also mean that your legs are straight if that's more comfortable for you. But just kind of settle into the spot that you're practicing in tonight, whether it's where you always practice or whether it's a different place today. So settling in, we'll join our palms in front of the heart. And then just allow your eyes to close as you begin to notice how you're feeling today. So, not just on a physical level, although noticing any physical sensations is a good place to start, particularly if you're working with any injuries that you might need to kind of modify or skip certain things. But also notice what thoughts, what emotions, what memories are present for you today. And as you're starting to kind of take stock and notice all of these aspects of your present, we'll take a deep breath in and reach the fingertips up toward the ceiling. And then as we exhale, let the hands separate and release them down toward the floor. And then turn your palms up. Take another breath in. Reaching back up, hands join above the head. And then exhale, hands come down to the heart. Same thing again. Inhale, reach straight up. Exhale out. Turn the palms up. Inhale out and up. And exhale, hands come together in front of the heart. One more time. Breathing in, reach straight up. Exhale out and down. Inhale, reach out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. All right, interlace your fingers. Press your palms forward and up. And then start to press up through one palm and then up through the other side. Left and right a few times as you feel into your hands and your fingers, your arms, the sides of your body. All right, and then separate the hands, release them down to the floor. Slide your right hand out and just lean into the hand as you sweep your left arm up and over. And then start to squeeze and release the fingers a few times and rotate through the wrist. With another in-breath, rise up. And exhale over to the other side. Right arm reaches. Squeeze and release the fingers. And rotate through the wrist. All right, another in-breath lifts you up. Exhale, release your right hand down. Now we'll take the left hand over to the right leg and the right hand towards the floor behind. And then inhale as you grow tall. Exhale as you twist to your right side. Now maintain the twist from your shoulders down, but then just let your head continuously turn. So turning back over to the left and back over to the right, just a few times. Easy, gentle rotation through the neck. All right, now inhale, come back to center. And exhale, twist over to the other side. Right hand to left leg, left hand to the floor behind. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale and twist to the left. Once again, head continuously turns. Back to the right and back to the left, nice and slow. Feeling into this easy rotation through the neck. As you breathe deep, relax your belly, relax your face. Take another breath. And then come back to center. All right, so from here, we'll move on to hands and knees. And so as we come on to hands and knees, take a moment to bring your hands about shoulder distance apart and your knees about hip distance apart. So we'll start with a few cycles of cat and cow. So as you inhale, let the belly drop, lifting your head and your tail. And then as you exhale, tuck the tail, round the back, chin to chest. Again, breathing in as the belly drops, head and tail lift. Exhale as you tuck and round. And then one more, breathing in. And breathing out. So as you bring your spine back to neutral, now we'll tuck our toes under, lift the knees, and send the hips up into the air. As we begin to explore downward facing dog, let your heels lift and lower a few times. And we'll begin to flow just a little bit between downward dog, hands and knees, and child's pose. So the next time you inhale, release down to your knees. And then as you exhale, untuck your toes and sit back towards your feet as you come into child's pose. With your next inhalation, rise back up onto hands and knees. Then exhale, tuck your toes, lift up and back to downward dog. A few more times just like that. As you inhale, knees come down. Exhale, sit back toward child's pose. Inhale to hands and knees. Exhale to downward dog. One more time through that flow. Inhale to hands and knees. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale to hands and knees. And exhale to downward dog. All right, now as you release down to your knees, we'll go ahead and step the left foot forward to the left hand. And just step into a short lunge. Lift your torso up. And then we'll take the right hand over to the left knee. And then sweep the left hand forward and up. And back and down. And just rotate a few times through your left shoulder. Spread the left fingers wide apart. All right, and then the next time that you take your left arm back, go ahead and pause in your twist. Turn your head to look back towards your left hand, and then just begin to rotate this left arm forward and back. So just let the whole arm roll kind of forward and then backwards a couple of times. All right, now sweep your left hand forward, take both hands to the floor, step forward into a forward fold. And then just shift your weight a little bit side to side, left foot to right foot. Release the weight of your head. Relax the muscles of your face and your jaw. All right, walk your hands up the fronts of the legs, coming up to stand. And then we'll step our feet about hip distance apart. And with an in-breath, we'll squat back into chair pose and take the arms forward. Now as we exhale, fold forward again and step back to downward dog. All right, take another in-breath, release down to your knees. And with your out-breath, untuck your toes, sit back towards child's pose. All right, as you next inhale, come up onto hands and knees, and then with your exhale, let it be your right foot that steps forward into your short lunge. Lifting your torso up, you'll take your left hand to your right knee, and then sweep the right hand forward and up and back and down. And just rotate a few times here through your right shoulder, now spreading the right fingers wide apart. All right, the next time that you take your right arm back, go ahead and pause in your twist. Turn your head to look back towards your right hand, and then begin to turn that right palm up and down so that the whole arm rolls forward and back a few times. All right, now sweep the right hand forward, both hands to the floor. Again, step forward into your forward fold. Once again, allow your head to release towards the floor. Shift your weight a little bit side to side, left to right. Release the weight of your face, your jaw. And then we'll walk the hands up the fronts of the legs, rising up to stand as we once again guide the feet to hip distance apart. Inhale, squat back into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Step back to downward dog. Take a breath in as you come down to your knees. Exhale and sit back into child's pose. All right, inhale, come back up onto hands and knees. Now we'll guide our knees together and lift the right knee up and out to the side. I'll begin to rotate through the hip. So that right knee draws a few big circles in one direction. And then a few circles in the opposite direction. All right, now inhale, reach your right foot straight back. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. And inhale, reach back with that right foot. Exhale, knee into the chest. And one more, inhale back. Exhale, knee into the chest. So as you reach the right leg back this time, just keep it lifted so it's around the same height as your torso. And then take your left arm forward. So right leg, left arm. All right, one more breath. Now left hand comes to the floor. Step the right foot forward to the right hand. Make your lunge a little bigger as you slide your left knee back just a couple inches. Left hand on the floor, right hand to right thigh. Press your right hand into your right thigh as you twist your torso towards this front leg. Now maybe it's comfortable to turn your head and look back. For some of us, it may be comfortable to bend that left knee, reach the right hand back and catch the foot. All right, 2 more breaths. All right, now release back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, take your hips up and back. With an inhale, release down to your knees. With your exhale, untuck your toes, sit back towards child's pose. With your next inhale, rise back up onto hands and knees. Knees are close together as you lift your left knee up and out to the side. And then start to rotate. All right, and then change directions. All right, now inhale, reach the left foot straight back. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest. Again, inhale, reach back. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest. One more inhale back. And exhale, knee into the chest. So as you take your left leg back this time, just keep it lifted about the same height as your torso. Then when you're ready, take your right arm forward, finding balance. All right, right hand comes to the floor. Step your left foot forward to your left hand. Make your lunge a little bigger, so scoot that right knee back a few inches. Right hand to the floor, left hand to left thigh. Press your left hand down as you twist towards the left. And as with the first side, if you wish, you might bend that right knee Reach your left hand back to catch the foot. If that's comfortable and available in your body, feel free to experiment with that. 2 more breaths. All right, release back to hands and knees. Then tuck your toes, lift up and back to downward dog. All right, with an in-breath, release down to your knees. With your out-breath, untuck your toes, sit back to child's pose. Take an extra breath. As you next inhale, pull yourself back up onto hands and knees. And then as you exhale, just come down onto your front. All right, now we'll walk the arms forward so that the elbows end up underneath the shoulders. And then we'll just start by turning the palms up to face the ceiling as the backs of the hands gently touch the floor. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And then turn the palms over so the palms are touching the floor. And as you gently press into your arms, lift your heart and begin to radiate it forward as you reach backwards through your toes. All right, allow your eyes to close and land into your present, into awareness of all that is present for you. All right, now allow your heart to come down to the floor, as well as your head, and then bend your knees and sway your feet side to side. All right, release the feet down to the floor. Take the arms alongside the torso. Now as you inhale, lift your head and chest. Also lift your feet and your arms. Begin to squeeze the shoulder blades together as you reach your heart forward and your fingers and toes back in space. Take 3 deep breaths. And once again, melt into the floor. Again, bend the knees, sway the feet side to side. All right, now releasing your feet to the floor, take your right arm up alongside your head and then just roll onto your right side. You're just laying on your right side. So take your top knee, your left knee, bring it forward and down toward the floor. All right, and then untuck this right arm that you might have your head resting on. Take it over to the right, and then sweep your left arm up and back toward the floor behind you as you come into a twist. Now, if it's comfortable, maybe you take this right hand to your left knee. That's fine to do. And if this bothers your low back, if it's too much of a pull here on the left side, just keep both knees kind of tucked in together instead of letting that bottom leg stay straight. So either way, feel the weight of the body starting to relax into the floor, letting go of effort. All right, take one more cycle of breath. All right, in your own time, roll onto your back. Pause a moment there. And then when you feel ready, You'll roll to your left side so we can build the twist on the second side. So just roll onto the left side of your body. Take your top knee, which is your right knee, you'll bring it forward and down toward the floor. And then since you're laying on your left arm, possibly go ahead and untuck it so it comes over to your left side. And then right arm up and over to the right. All right, and remember that for some of us, this might be too deep of a twist. So if it hurts your low back or if it feels too much on this right hip and thigh at all, maybe just keep both knees together instead. So whichever version works best for you, relax into the floor. Feel the support. All right, when you feel your next breath release, slowly guide the right leg back to center as you roll onto your back. Pause for a full breath. All right, bend both knees and bring the feet to the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take your legs into your chest, grabbing through for your left leg. Give your legs a little squeeze. Rock a bit side to side. You can also rotate through your left ankle here. Wiggle and scrunch your toes. All right, take your hands behind your left knee as you straighten your left leg up toward the ceiling. Reach up through your heel and point through your toes. Again, reach through the heel and point through the toes. All right, keep your left leg straight up. Also straighten up your right leg. So you have your right ankle on top of your left ankle. And then we'll interlace the fingers. Bring the hands behind the head, letting the head and elbows rest on the floor. As you inhale, lower straight legs toward the floor and just stop where you feel challenge. Then as you exhale, pull the legs back up. If it's too much to keep the legs together, if that feels too strong, just do one leg at a time. All right, a few more times. Inhale, lower the legs to your level of challenge. Exhale, pull the legs back up. All right, 3 more. Breathing in. And breathing out. 2 more. Last one. All right, uncross the legs, bend the knees, feet come to the floor, and sway the knees side to side. All right, release your hands out from underneath your head. And we'll do that little sequence on the second side. So just start by crossing your left ankle over your right thigh. Take the legs into the chest. This time grabbing through for your right leg. Rock a bit side to side. Rotate through your right ankle. A couple of times in one direction. A couple times the opposite way. All right, hands come behind the right knee. Let your right leg straighten. Reach up through your heel. And point through your toes. Again, reach up through the heel. And point through the toes. All right, keep the right leg up. Extend the left leg up to join it. So now left ankle is crossed over the right ankle. Interlace the fingers again, take the hands behind the head and elbows rest. All right, as you inhale, slowly lower the legs. Remember, just to the point where you feel challenged. Then as you exhale, pull the legs back up. Again, inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, pull the legs back up. 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. All right, uncross the legs, bend the knees, feet to the floor. Sway the knees side to side. And so as you gradually come back to relative stillness, we'll release the hands out from underneath the head and just let the hands rest on the belly. Now, if that's not comfortable for any reason, just rest your hands on the floor. But with your knees bent, drop them in toward each other. Allow your eyes to close. And allow your body, and to an extent your mind, to come into relative stillness. And see if you can feel the weight of your eyes as they release any unnecessary movement. Feeling also the natural weight of your tongue. And perhaps you can feel your ears releasing toward the floor. And then without controlling your breath too much here, each time that you exhale, allow yourself to breathe out as long as possible, but without forcing it. Just really emphasize the length of your exhales. And as you continue to observe and emphasize your exhales, allow your physical body to melt and relax even more each time you're breathing out. So just imagine that your body is a pool that continues to melt and expand out in all directions on each of those exhales. Now, if you have the time and or the desire to stay where you are, observing and feeling into your exhalations, feel free to stay right where you are. But if you are ready to go about the rest of your day, gradually, and when you feel ready, roll to one side. And just simply pausing there for a breath or 2 or 10. And then eventually pressing up into a seated position. And from this seat, We'll guide our palms together in front of the heart. Taking a moment here to acknowledge and honor the light within ourselves as well as each other. Namaste. Thank you for being present. See you next time. Bye.